"Oh, that's strange because he said the same thing when he was with me." Now they don't know that it was planned, right? They don't know that you came in equipped with an arsenal full of conversational vignettes that can actually position you to be consistent through the process. So we talk about fit being so important, and my expectation of who do I hire. You can create chemistry to some degree by being consistent in the process. You show up on time. You have similar answers that are all rooted in fact. You're comfortable talking and sharing. That builds over time a degree of credibility in you as a candidate, even though you don't work for us, even though we don't know you, we're getting to know you, and there's consistency. I now know who I'm voting for. I know what this person represents. They're a safer hire, a safer bet than the person that's a little off the scale and they're left and they're right and they're center. And we don't really know if they wake up from one day to the next who they're going to be. So to some degree, it is about making a safe decision as a hiring manager. This is a great way to prepare yourself for any question. Cool? I think we're about done. Resumes, job search, interviewing, a couple of blunders. This is a confidential resume. Please do not contact my immediate supervisor at the company. My colleagues will give me a better reference. It's crazy. I see this stuff on real resumes. Blunder number 6, responsibilities include screening, recruiting, screening, interviewing, and executing final candidates. That's for my human resources friends in the audience. Executing final candidates. Come on, I'm not thinking here. This is so cool. So, if you want more of those blunders, the document's called Candidate, and it's just littered with stuff. You can go to that little link down there to the degree you care and want it. Welcome to it. And you'll also get the slides. So if you want to sign up for the little VIP list, you get the slides, you get the blunders, and anything else down the line that might come your way. So I want to say thank you as we close to some really important people. Dr. Leanne Brown, who invited me here back in the fall. That was awesome. Bailey Rusk has been like the best personal concierge, kind of always ahead of me, knows exactly what needs to happen. So beautiful job, Bailey. Well done. Thank you. Stephen Foster, all the marketing, the flyers that you've seen posted and so forth, and all the crazy cool stuff. Thank you, Stephen, for wherever you are. I also really would be remiss to overlook Blake, who's over here in the front row. And Blake, you've done an awesome job just helping me out with all the technical stuff behind the scenes. Forgive me for leaving you off the slide, but thank you. And I want to just say thank you to everybody at the Fort Hays State University SHRM student chapter. You guys have been awesome. I've met a number of you folks. I've got more of you to meet tomorrow. We're having an awesome time. I'm really impressed with the quality of people and talent that's sitting here incubating in the middle of Kansas. It's exciting for me to see as you guys have such raw material to work with and some really, really cool potential. So very impressed. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to close with this one thing, and then we're going to go to throwing these cool microphones around, which I'll explain in a second if you got some questions. This is General Motors headquarters in Detroit, Michigan, so I grew up in Michigan, not too far from Detroit. When I was a junior at Michigan, I was trying to get an internship. It was kind of a competitive scene, and I interviewed with a number of companies, including General Motors. Had a nice conversation with this gentleman, and this was back a while ago. He had like real long sideburns and all that kind of stuff. And I thought we hit it off. I thought we had everything going on. I was confident I was going to get an internship, and of course, you know, I didn't. And so I got the letter, and I was just bummed out. But I wrote him a little thank you note. I just said, thank you for the time. Thank you for meeting me. Sorry I wasn't the candidate of choice. You know, I wish you well. Something along those lines. Really simple, really graceful, really humble. About a week later, 2 weeks later, I got a job offer as an intern. Obviously, somebody that they had offered the job to probably said no, got a job at some other internship at some other company that created a vacancy. I was the selection. I got an internship at General Motors my junior year, which I believe set up the whole reason why I was able to get hired at Ernst & Young, the global accounting firm, and move to Chicago. It was because of that internship, which really was because of that little thank you note that I sent. The small things matter. So I just leave you with, it's going to be stressful, it's going to be bumpy, but always handle rejection gracefully. I can promise you something good down the line will happen. Fair? So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those good things. The slides, that link is on the bottom there. So here's what we're going to try to do. You guys have been a really cool audience, real quiet and really patient. So we have the coolest technology you've ever seen. I've never seen this. I doubt any of you have either. Bailey over here on my right is in the audience, and she's got these two, what they're called box mics. Okay, these are microphones. Oh, excuse me, there's one coming down the left side. Thank you so much, Fallon. So these two ladies have a yellow cube, and believe it or not, that's a microphone. And so it's called a box mic. And what happens is when you throw your hand up and say you have a question, they're going to throw you the box mic, and it's like soft like a Nerf football. And literally, there's no sound coming out of it in the air, but as soon as you catch it, boom, the mic's on. Isn't that the coolest thing? Fort Hays State University, you guys got the technology word, I'm telling you. So anyone have a question? Let's just throw the box mic around. Also, I've got my phone over here on the lectern. If you're feeling more comfortable tweeting a question, you can tweet to hashtag FHSUDP. FHSUDP, tweet a question if you'd rather, and we'll take a look at it on the phone. But in the meanwhile, is there anyone who's got a question? Anything you want to handle? Front row. Throw it, I want to see him catch it. That's so cool.
It's on? Oh.
That's on. That's so
really cool.
That is cool.
I had a little question about some formatting types for resumes.
Yeah.
You might advise us on a little bit?
Yeah, so what's your name, sir?
Trevor Hawk.
Trevor, nice, thanks for the question. So, kind of hard to do without looking at one. Is there a specific question that you have?
I've seen a few formats such as formats on Excel. That's a lot of beginner types of formats I've been experienced with, but right now I'm currently using formats that are templates on Word.
Got it. So this is my pet peeve. It's really interesting that you brought this up. Like my single worst hate thing in all of what I do is a resume that comes to me in Excel. In Excel. Word is the preferred choice. Your Apple version or Google Doc or whatever. Always preferred over Excel. I don't understand why people use Excel. I think it's because it's funny because they'll use Excel for a Word doc, and then in that Excel resume, they'll say that they have good Word skills. It doesn't make any sense. So I would absolutely recommend Word or a word processor of your choice. No Excel. I think we're getting some feedback there, Fallon. If you want to grab that, you can. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So one page preferred. I think 2 pages is fine. By the way, there's a point that I want to make. A 2-page resume really isn't 2 pages unless it's 2 full pages. If it's got like half the bottom of page 2 is blank, it's really a 1.5-page resume. Yes, it's 2 slices of paper. Yes, maybe there's a staple in it, but it's a 1.5-page resume. So I'm perfectly cool with that kind of length. You know where I stand on objective. You know where I stand on personal interests. I'm not a fan at all of what they call a functional resume, if you've ever heard of that. If you haven't, you don't want to know. So it's a standard reverse chronological format that you want to go with. Does that help? Does that give you a little bit of clarity, or is there something specific else on top of that?
I do have something else on top of that. Would you consider, like, when you're formatting your ideas in your resume, like, such as you're listing your attributes, would you recommend writing those in sentence format or bulleting those points?
Well, it's both. So I always prefer bullets over paragraphs. The key is, and this is hard to do sometimes, one idea per bullet. One bullet, one idea. Don't stuff a lot into a bullet just because you're trying to make those separate bullets. And then you're starting with an action verb. And I think that the Career Services Office has a list of action verbs. But I would go onto Google and find something more comprehensive because I think you can find a lot of cool stuff out there. So you start with an action verb, no I or me or anything like that, and then you write whatever that action verb sort of extends out to. I put a period at the end of the bullet, even though technically it's not a sentence because there's no subject, because they were starting with a verb. But I put a period because in my mind it connotes a sort of a completed thought. It's the end of the thought. So that's kind of the way that I do it. And if you shoot me an email or shoot me anything and you want a sample, I was happy to send you one. Happy to send you one. Yeah, cool.
Okay, following up sort of on Trevor's question.
Yeah.
I'm a marketing major and I have some design experience too. I make mine in InDesign.
Say that one more time.
I make mine in InDesign, Adobe Creative Cloud
Yep.
InDesign. what format do you like that sent in? Is like the PDF okay?
Absolutely, PDF, absolutely.
That's what I typically do. But I
Yeah.
don't know with like the databases that will read it, how that would.
Right, so if you're emailing it to someone, I would send it PDF. If you're sort of submitting it in an online application, you're going to want to put it in more of a raw form. And those applicant tracking systems, which most people really don't like, it's going to take all of your formatting and just kind of jumble it up, and just the content's going to end up in there anyway. So you work really hard to make it really look cool and really, creative and all that stuff. But that's only going to work really in PDF form, which is really only going to benefit you if you're emailing. Otherwise, most of that stuff's going to go away in the data form. Does that help? Okay, cool. Next question.
I got you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's just so.
Okay.
I'm just fascinated by this.
With our advancing technology everywhere, I'm finding a lot of Skype interviews are kind of a thing now. Is there anything different for Skype interviews that you would kind of attack than you would
Yeah.
an in-person interview? Like
Yeah.
what kind of a setting should you be in? Is the dress different? How should you act?
Yeah.
Like that?
That's a great question. It's a great question. I'm starting to see more and more and more of that trending almost by the month. I see it kind of a higher incident rate of Skype or any kind of other technology. So it adds another dimension to the dynamics of that conversation. Yes, I would still dress up, absolutely. Whatever setting, if you're assuming you're on either a laptop or a desktop, whatever you got is fine. The trick is, and this is the hard thing, if you're in an interview, you want to be making eye contact with somebody. And, just from a human dynamics, you kind of know what that feels like. But just staring into that little hole, right, where the camera is, it's hard to do because it's not giving you any feedback, So I think making sure you have eye contact with the camera is really hard, but also essential because it's really bothersome on the other side. I would turn everything else off. I wouldn't have any other programs. I wouldn't have email going or any of that kind of stuff. Just make sure you're sort of free of disruption. That's probably, I think the best thing I could give you is just that particular eye contact thing, which most people kind of forget. Other than that, it's pretty much standard fare. I think that the hiring side, the interviewers, are also growing and learning how this technology works. So frankly, they're as sort of unfamiliar with the sort of process as you are. So there's a little bit of that give and take. I just think that to the degree that you can make it seem as personal as possible is